the person opening it. That just means everything to me. We've got so many good beat 'em up runs coming after this from basically every beat 'em up franchise you can think of, from Final Fight to Streets of Rage to Golden Axe to TMNT. We've got it all, and hope you're all going to have a good time with some punching action. Also, hello, as the screen so implicitly implies. So this is Knuckle Bash. This is a game I first saw back in 2018, run by a one-time, very well-known speedrunner, Josh the Funk Doc. He ran this for RGL's Coin-Op Classic back in 2018 at its inaugural event. I thought the game was amazing, but I hadn't spent any time with it yet until a little bit earlier this year when I decided that I finally wanted to run it. This was released by Toaplan in 1993, I think it was, and it's also the developer's only fighting game. They were primarily known for like platformers, shmups, that were all arcade releases, but this was their only foray into the beat 'em up genre. However, when they were originally developing it, I think they wanted it to be a fighting game, which is going to explain why most of the stages are like you versus this squad, like the two guys you're fighting here. Just as one example. So there's a lot of that going through it. So it's basically just a big game of a boss rush. And honestly, that's what makes it so cool to me, is like each room has a different strategy to it. It's also a beat 'em up based on pro wrestling, and that's just two great tastes that go great together. Although I don't know which one's chocolate, which one's peanut butter.
If you are a fan of 80s and 90s wrestling hyperbole, the hyperbole part especially, this will feel very comfy.
For sure. We're going to go ahead and I am running this through emulator. This game, unfortunately, has not been released in any modern console. The Switch doesn't have it available yet. It's done an Archives release. It's done a Johnny Turbo release. Hopefully one day, but for now, we've got emulator, and we're going to use that. So I'm going to pop my credit in. I haven't even checked the second wave, so I don't know what that's going to be like. This guy's worthless. The Elvis guy is very, very good, but I'm not very good with his strats, so we're going to pick our Lucha friend here at 3, 2, 1, go. Now for opening cutscene. Becoming a professional wrestler has always been my dream. I'll fight to the end to save the spirit from the corrupt Mad Bulls. Wrestling Heroes Unite in a Chicago hotel. A secret meeting has been arranged. The heroes decide to obtain the services of a powerful master of Nimpo. His name is Hayate Ninja Warrior. Resides in Hong Kong. Is known to be a skillful and cunning fighter. Mad Bulls 102 will stop at nothing. The heroes can't let this happen, even if it means... And now we have our game.
Nicely done.
Appreciate it. I botched this so hard when I was doing my sound check. So there's a reason why I run this guy. The Elvis impersonator is very, very good. He has a really repetitive strat that allows him to loop jump kicks, which if you can execute it properly is astounding, but I'm not very good at it. Whereas our Lucha friend here has a really good strat, particularly in the second stage. There's a quick kill that he can do on the boss that I don't think any other character can do. So first we start off at the Chicago hotel, as previously mentioned. We're going to be fighting a bunch of hotel employees, you know, bus boys, bellhops, that kind of thing. Sorry, door guards, not bellhops. What am I thinking there? Take out this guy here. Pretty simple stuff. So for our combos, what we can do is, we have a 6-hit string, where the 7th hit always results in a throw. For our Lucha friend here, it's always going to be either a power bomb or a belly-to-belly suplex, both of which are incredibly efficient. And really fun to watch. Also, shout out to this soundtrack. This soundtrack is so good. So we have our first versus battle. This from an even more punk-looking version of a Road Warrior. Whiff the punch. Watch him come down here. And from here, once we get him knocked down, all we're going to do is grab loop him. This doesn't work on most bosses, but it definitely works on him. So we're just going to do it and not get hit. Get up, please. Thank you. That actually can be tricky to do. If you step too far away from his center while you're, you know, waving back over and forth and like that, he actually can hit you on wake up, and that's really bad if that happens. Okay, so for our stage 1 boss, we've got these two. This fight's actually kind of tricky. There's a few strats that work, but my preferred strat is just to make sure they're both separate. Hence why I keep just sending one back to the other side and not trying to get in too much damage at once. Yeah, that could be bad. Because if you're trying to fight them both at the same time, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Because our beady wearing friend there can do some real damage. Got to do this to get him off me.
We've got Bart Gunn in the Brawl for All, and
that's not good. That was a death. That is not a death I wanted. Sorry to interrupt, but that was pretty screeching. That sucks because, as I mentioned, if you can't keep them clear, that stuff like that can happen. And I got hit with the flying knee attack. That attack does a lot of damage, and that's when the avalanche can start. So here's our bonus game. we really want to make sure we can win as many of these as possible. There are 3 of them total. The third one doesn't matter that much, but the first 2 definitely matter. First one's pretty simple though. I'm just doing strategic matching the A button by just doing this on my attack button. Take them down pretty easily. Not only does this refill our health, but it also gives us a lot of bonus points, which helps towards building up extends. You get 2 extends in this game, one at 100,000 points, one at 500,000. Here's the quick kill I was talking about. I'm gonna go for it right now. Quiet time real quick. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Missing that quick kill destroys the 1cc every single time, because if he gets loose, what he does is he just goes to the background, he calls minions, and then you have to deal with them. But they're actually pretty difficult enemies to deal with, so I want none of that. Alright, this room's actually a bit more difficult than it appears. The red guys in particular are a real issue. They have 2 attacks that low profile really well. They have a charge, and then they have like a Honda headbutt. This is already looking really bad. Cool, no more, well actually no, I had to extend, so I thought the 1cc was dead, but it's not entirely. I'm getting terrible movement here. Because we got that extend, we're still in the race here, but it's gonna be interesting to see where this goes from here. Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. I feel like a lot of this game is kind of crisis management.
Yes, especially because you don't have iframes in this game ever. Even when you're coming back from a death, you're not invincible at all. That was definitely not an advantage they gave the player.
It's not Blanca on not Ken's stage in Street Fighter 2.
I know that we just refer to this guy as Blancarilla. It's an okay fight. If he gets loose, it's rough, much like with most of the boss fights, but the slide that we have is actually really, really good at maintaining how well we're able to just overcome what he's gonna do.
Nice and clean, Matt.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Okay, so second bonus game. This one's the most important to beat and also a lot more difficult than the first one because I think they get something like double the number of inputs here. In a practice run right before this, I only beat it by 1, and there I beat it by 2. So, improvements, mild improvements.
Hell yeah.
Okay, on to stage 3. Top to bottom, this is probably the hardest stage in the game. I mean, it's actually like stage 4, but I only refer to it as 3 because we've already done 2 bonus games. Take these guys down. This room's actually pretty tough. These enemies, again, don't look like much, but they can really mess you up. As you can see, that guy just grabbed me from way too far away. The guys in the boots are honestly the bigger concern. They have really strong strike attacks that they can combo into. Like, you basically have to know, like, if they touch you, you have to block immediately or else you're in a lot of trouble. They also have really good wake-up attacks, which I'd forgotten about until just now. Take them out as best I can. Grouping is really important here, but you also have to respect things like that. Their wake-ups are really strong. See, there's the combo I was talking about. I even tried blocking and it didn't register for some reason. Shout out to that roasted pig in the background. He looks scrumptious.
Absolutely delectable.
Okay, so this room's also fairly tough. These knife guys are something. I believe people have compared with the knife guys from Narc, I want to say it is. They look just like them. And I haven't played enough of Narc to be able to have an opinion there. There goes the 1cc, that's unfortunate. Oh, well, we're still going to finish the game. This isn't going to put that in jeopardy. It's still a great game to watch from here, but just not my best run today. I'm going to pop that in. Okay, same character. Maybe I can clear rest from here. Take that guy out. All right, so now that we're down to just the knife guys, they're a bit more manageable, but they still do have strong attacks. That little spin knife attack is a problem, for example.
Yeah, some of these bald-headed guys absolutely look like just...
They look like jobbers. That's essentially what it boils down to.
Just really, really, really generic jobber.
Alright, so now for our boss, Hayate. This is actually kind of notable for a beat-em-up. There aren't a lot of beat-em-ups that are going to do something like this. Strat's fairly simple. Get him to the corner just like we did with Blancarilla, and then do slide loops. Slide beats out anything he's doing. If he's doing that jumping wheel attack, he's either going to land in the slide or he's going to land right behind us, and then we're going to get to grab him into a combo. Mess it up a little bit there, but not a big deal. He broke out of the grab. If he does Tornado, which is one of his more common attacks, slide just beats it clean. Throw him back in the corner. Scoops.
Mankind? No, he's not junky enough.
Alright, so Hayate goes down, and as I mentioned before, this is something that's not common in a lot of beat-em-ups. That we unlock him into our stable. I'll join you and fight to them. So we're actually going to switch to Hayate here, who is very, very good. I've got another quick cutscene to talk through. My journey takes me to Battle Kingdom, headquarters of the Bull Group. It's rumored that one of them wants out of the organization. It seems he doesn't agree with their methods. I, too, was once lured by the temptations of the Bull Group. They're nothing but a gang of criminals, evil as sin.
Battle Kingdom, if you're familiar, is a very New Japan Pro Wrestling gigantic pay-per-view they run annually.
Yeah, although I don't know if it existed at the time. 30 years of hindsight? Yeah, that's meta as heck. But I don't recall if it existed in the early 90s. New Japan definitely did. But anyway, for the first room, we got these Lucha Vaders. We're going to be doing these throw loops on them, and luckily Hayate has a really cool selection of throws. He's got the Sling Blade and the Azuna drop, so all of his stuff just looks swag. Plus, look at that walk animation.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Lucha Vaders remind me a lot of the Stage 1 boss. As long as you keep them separate, they're honestly not that big of a threat.
Those Sling Blades look clean.
So we've got this guy here, which is just a repeat of the Punk Road Warrior we had in the first stage. Different swapped color sprite, but his behavior and his move list and the strat are just completely the same. There's no changes here.
Oh my god, it's a proper thing.
Yeah, right? We've been talking about pro wrestling this whole time, and it's like, wait a minute, we're actually on TV now? Sling Blade for the pin. Well, see people giving some Road Warrior shoutouts there. Love the Ninja Star belt buckle too. Very flavorful. Alright, this is the last bonus game, and it may be a bit more important now that I lost the first credit, but I don't think it's going to be too terribly bad. 3 lives should be more than enough to get through the rest of the game from here, but we'll see what happens. Oh, hey, I actually won. Oh, it's because his difficulty dropped because I spent another credit. Yeah, that makes sense now. Okay, so also welcome Raiders. Missed that. All right, so this honestly is my vote for hardest room in the game. This fight just blows. First you have to take down the 2 cronies. Then you have old Johnny here. I refer to him as Johnny because he looks a lot like J-Max from World Heroes. His name is Johnny Max. So what he does is he does that little jumping attack where he slams the ground, or the ground pound, and the only way you can beat that is to jump it. It's completely unblockable. So the idea is you want to take him down with throw loops, similar to with the Lucha Vaders, but then you have to get out of the way of that. Like, he's always going to do that when he gets up before you can even touch him. All right, on to the Sheik. One of the harder boss fights in the game, but we do have a strat for him. Slide her here. Grab him again. The speed of that works just well enough to where this always works as a loop. Like, he'll always get up right into your clutches, which is great. Except for the last cycle. Last cycle, we have to adjust things a bit. Alright, so one more cycle of this. And now he's going to have a wake-up attack. So we're not going to deal with that.
Sheik, as you know, is known for typing in all caps on Twitter.
Sheiky, baby. Good fight, though. Didn't take any damage. So for that last cycle, what happens is if we try to approach him with a wake-up throw again, he has a wake-up attack where he just swings both swords at you, and you can block it, but he's still at advantage. All right, we unlocked another character, in this case, our boy Johnny. And we're going to go ahead and switch to him because he has some really good strats for the last stage. No narration here, I'm afraid, but this is the final stage, and we've got a couple that'll transition us from fight to fight. This is also my favorite music track in the game. It's quite a bop. This guy's gonna fly in, this kabuki looking dude. We're gonna pound him out of the air. Then we're gonna block. Beat his wake up attack. Grab him, put him on the floor. Rinse, repeat.
Spears on spears on spears.
Spine on the pine. Probably literally on pine because we are on a wooden roof. I also love his jumping animation, it just looks so ridiculous.
Poor guy looks 90. I don't know that his spine could take it.
So we've got a quick cutscene here where this kabuki reveals himself to us. With the face reveal of Giant Baba. Do how long you defeat me. I think you can destroy the bulls. I hope you will succeed. Good luck. So yeah, I thought it was cool they had like basically Giant Baba face meld for that. It was really neat. Under our last boss, who we saw in the first stage. Dude's quite ugly. Probably the actual hardest boss fight in the game, but as always we have strats. We're gonna let a boxer rush, go back in for another combo. This only works 3 times, so I'm gonna get as much out of it as I can.
Yeah, this guy's kind of a cross between like Vader and like actual Pig Ganon.
Yeah, Missed a couple hits there. So now he's gonna go for his Super Joy. We can beat that with ours. But I'm gonna try and do it as little as I need to and just try to go for these loops. But now I'll just go for it again. Should be able to finish him. And there we have it. Not a 1cc, but that's definitely a clear. Stage 10 clear, there'll be time. 1305 and a 15 estimate, yeah, it seems okay. Good for that. There are one last little bit of dialogue here.
Russo booked this game, god damn it.
They were a formidable opponent, yeah, it's a good call. Is this the end? That's right, we have one thing left to do. What's that? Take control of our destiny. And instantly Phantasy Star 4 battle sequence! We succeeded in destroying the Bull Group. The world is free of their evil ways.